Gerald was still standing there with his hand raised. The market district is supposed to face the outside world, but right now there is no gate, no road, no connection. How does anyone actually get to my shop? Lady Nedia smiled and reached for a fresh sheet of parchment. That, she said, is what we build next. The problem was simple. The market district existed, the inner sanctum existed, the walls were up and the districts were separated, but the entire private city was still sealed off from the outside world. There was no door, no gate, no way in or out. It was a perfectly designed city that nobody could enter. Lady Nedia's answer was the Great Gate of Cloudoria, a single magnificent entrance built at the edge of the market district, opening directly onto the world road. Merchants could arrive, messages could leave, trade could flow. For the first time, the private city had a connection to the outside world. But then something unexpected happened. The gate was built, the gate was open, and nobody came. Not a single merchant arrived, not a single message left. Gerald stood in his empty shop for 3 days and saw nothing but dust. Lady Nedia investigated. She walked every road inside the city, and she found the problem immediately. The gate existed, but there were no signs pointing to it. A merchant arriving at the city's outer edge had no idea which road led to the gate. A message leaving Gerald's shop had no idea which direction to travel. Everyone was lost. The gate was useless without directions. She ordered road signs planted at every intersection inside the city. Each sign gave one of 2 instructions. If your destination is somewhere inside the city, take the internal roads. If your destination is somewhere outside the city, follow this road to the Great Gate. Every traveler, every message, every delivery now had a clear direction. The city came alive within hours. Here's the crucial detail that the SAIA exam will test you on. The Inner Sanctum had road signs too. Every district had them. But not one sign in the Inner Sanctum pointed toward the Great Gate. Every sign there said internal roads only. There was no posted path leading outward, and that single absence, no sign pointing to the gate, is what made the Inner Sanctum private. Not a lock, not a magic setting, just a missing instruction. In AWS, the Great Gate is called an Internet Gateway. It is the single door between your VPC and the public internet. Every VPC can have only one internet gateway attached to it. Without one, nothing inside the VPC can reach the internet at all, and the internet cannot reach anything inside. The row signs are called route tables. Every subnet must be associated with a route table. The route table contains rules that tell traffic where to go. The rule that makes a subnet public is a single entry. Send all unknown outbound traffic to the internet gateway. That one rule pointed at the IGW is the entire difference between public and private. A public subnet is not special. It does not have a special flag or a special category. It is simply a subnet whose route table contains a route pointing to the internet gateway. A private subnet is simply a subnet whose route table does not contain that route. The architecture is decided entirely by what the route table says or does not say. There is one more thing the exam will ask. When an EC2 instance is launched in a public subnet, it still needs a public IP address to be reachable from the internet. The subnet can be configured to automatically assign a public IP to every instance launched inside it. This is called auto-assign public IP. Without this enabled, an instance sits in a public subnet but has no address the outside world can use to find it. Let's map the whole picture. The internet gateway is attached to the VPC, not to a subnet. It serves the entire city. The route table belongs to a specific subnet and tells that subnet's traffic where to go. If the route table says go to the IGW for outside traffic, the subnet is public. If it says nothing about the IGW, the subnet is private. One gateway, many route tables. Each subnet decides its own visibility. Gerald's first delivery arrived the morning after the road signs went up. A merchant from 3 kingdoms away had followed the signs directly to the Great Gate, asked for Gerald's shop, and arrived with a full cart of rare fabric. Gerald was so relieved he nearly cried. Lady Nedia watched from a distance and said nothing. The city was working exactly as designed. In AWS terms, this is what you always build first. Create a VPC, attach an internet gateway to it, create a public subnet. In the public subnet's route table, add a route sending 0.0.000 traffic to the IGW. Enable auto-assign public IP on the subnet. Now instances launched in that subnet are reachable from the internet. Every other subnet that lacks the IGW route is private by default. The districts were designed, the gate was built, the road signs were planted. For 6 months, everything ran smoothly. Gerald prospered, messages flowed, the inner sanctum stayed invisible. Lady Nedia allowed herself a rare moment of satisfaction. Then one morning, a letter arrived from the king. A foreign spy had been found wandering freely inside the inner sanctum for 3 full days. He had not broken through the gate. He had not overpowered any guard. He had simply walked in through a forgotten side entrance that nobody had thought to watch. The bodyguards on individual buildings had done their jobs, but nobody had been watching the entrance to the district itself. Lady Nedia read the letter twice, then she set it down. She had protected every building. She had not protected the neighborhood. She had guards on every door, but no checkpoint at the street. A clever enough enemy only needed to find one building with a lazy guard to get inside, and from inside the district the rest became much easier to reach. The lesson was permanent. A gate to the internet and road signs that hide the private district are the foundation. But they are not enough on their own. The city needed a second layer of defense that operated at a completely different level, not building by building, district by district. Episode 4: The Two Layers of Guards.